Hey, thanks for meeting with me, Pat. I appreciate it. Well, I just I just wanted to have a talk with you. You know, after everything that's happened, whole world basically falling apart, almost completely coming to an end, everything so different nowadays. Now, now, look, Pat, you've got it wrong. You've got it wrong. I get it. It wasn't easy for you to come to terms that your daughter is most likely gone. We've all lost people ever since the world basically ended, and we got left behind and had to survive in what was left. I mean, I have no clue what it's like for a mother such as yourself to come to the terrible realization that most likely her daughter's gone. And I want you to know something, Pat. I'm very sorry about that. I really am. But like I said, I wanted to talk to you in private. It's important. Mm-hmm. 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 No, Pat. Pat, please. Please. No. Like I said a few months ago, when you and I were reunited, when we both ended up becoming part of this group, although you had been a member of this group before I was. Back when you and I were part of Sam's group, and that incident took place at Kmart. Listen, I want you to know that even though it was my idea not to go in there because the place was probably looted and we should have stuck to the smaller mom and pop shops, especially the hardware store where we found a bunch of useful hand tools. And like I said, let's not go into the Kmart because there's probably nothing useful in there. Now, I told you that, and I told Eric that as well. But, well, what can I say, Pat? Eric had the keys to Sam's truck that he loaned us for that scavenger mission. And, not for nothing, but I knew that, you and Eric were hooking up despite the age difference. Mm-hmm. Well, no. Listen, Pat, I'm not racist. What two consenting adults do, their business, not mine. Sure, Eric was a younger fellow, but it's not like he was underaged. He was an adult. He knew the risks of going on these missions. We all did. But the two of you outvoted me, and at the time, considering what happened, yes, I was upset. Hold on. Let me just get a drink of water. Yeah. That's a lot better. Listen, Pat, like I said months ago when you and I were reunited, I don't hold anything against you or Eric for leaving me there. I mean, when we encountered that group of raiders and they instantly attacked us, hey, I get it. We got separated. You and Eric ended up near the back door, and I ended up over by the office. How did I get out? Well, I tricked them, and I managed to ambush a couple of them. How? Listen, Pat, I'm a very private person, and for me to trust people takes a very long time for them to show me that they deserve my trust. That's just how it is. What can I say, Pat? It takes a long time. Now, the truth of the matter is, when I joined up, I had a little tiny 25 caliber Beretta pistol that I always carried with me. Yeah. Well, they do make crotch holsters, and that's where I carried it. You didn't know about it. Eric didn't know about it. No one in the group knew about it, not even Sam. I mean, I pulled my weight. I made myself useful. I did what had to be done. I earned my keep. You can't say I didn't. Well, all right, I'm glad we agree on that. But like I said, it's very hard for me to trust people. So I had that 25 on me the entire time. And the truth is, when that miserable piece of junk imported 9mm jammed on me, and those guys started open firing, I mean, I just tossed that thing down and ran. Made it to an office, barricaded the door, made it look like I'd slipped out the window. Well, there was a metal locker in that office. A couple of them made it through, and when I realized no one else did, jumped out of that metal locker and took care of business with that 25. I even ended up getting a couple of brand new pistols out of it. Canteen of water. I just took off myself. Got outside just in time to see those guys shooting at the two of you in Sam's truck, and, well, you guys basically distracted them and I managed to slip away. What can I say? So we got separated. Listen, I don't blame you. I really don't. The circumstances were just really messed up, and like you said, you saw those two armed guys hanging around where I was running to. Well, I guess they were hanging back, and by the time they noticed that I had run past them, they didn't know what to do, so I had a few seconds to set everything up to ambush them. You know, I caught those two guys napping. Just how it is. Like I said, at first I was very angry. Can you blame me? But then I realized, hey, if I were in your shoes or Eric's shoes, would I have done the same thing? And when I came back and realized that, yes, I would have, well, I stopped being angry and I forgave the two of you. And Pat, I want you to know, I know I've said this before, but I want you to realize I do feel, well, I'm sorry that a month later, Eric got killed by a different group of raiders. I'm sorry about that. I really am. I mean, I could tell that the two of you being together was a lot more than just a fling. That the two of you were building a relationship. And Pat, that's what I want to talk to you about. Now, when I joined up this second group and I saw you there, and you introduced me to Linda, I didn't think much of it at first. But, I mean, that first location where we were, at the school, and we met that other group of survivors, and we welcomed them, and you chatted with them, and, you know, a few days later, they raided the school and killed some of us off. I was able to save Linda. And she started looking at me in a little bit of a different way. Now, it's not that she was very grateful and she wanted to sleep with me on day one. No. I mean, she was grateful. But that gratitude was enough to cause her to want to get to know me better. And because she took an interest in me, I guess I took an interest in her. You know how these things work. After all, you were with Eric. And well, let me get another sip of water. And well, you know how these things work, Pat. I don't need to tell you. And thankfully, we did find another location. Yeah. That little oddly shaped community center. I think it was made for troubled youths. That community center with all the buildings, and we reinforced it, and we put up barricades, and we made it into a home. I mean, you remember that, Pat. You and I were working together to put everything up. Yeah. That was a good place. That was a good place. Linda and I actually had our own room, and by then it just started out as roommates, just sharing space. Everyone who got along with each other paired up, you know, just sharing space, limited space, but it was home. It was home for all of us. All of the members who were left of the group, it was home. Yes, yes, it was. And well, Tyrone decided, you know what, maybe we have enough members, no new members. And then you and I encountered that other group. Turns out they were also on a scavenger mission, and, well, you had a nice, friendly conversation with them, didn't you, Pat? What am I getting at? Listen, Pat, I'm not blaming you. You've always been friendly, but maybe a little too friendly, considering what happened. Yeah, I didn't enjoy standing up on that hill next to you and Linda and Daniel and Billings. You know, he's a jerk, but he cares about the group. I didn't enjoy standing there with all of them and the rest of our group. Thankfully, we weren't scattered. All of them and the rest of our group watching the community rec center burn to the ground. You know, I get it, Pat. You're a very friendly person. Too friendly. What do you want me to say, Pat? The reason why I wanted to meet with you is because, well, this new place we found it only a month ago. We've put in so much work fixing it up, securing it. And then, you know, here comes another patrol. Guy introduces himself as Leon, part of a very large group run by a guy named Adam. And what do? Well, yeah, you started talking to them until I jumped in and interrupted you. And I stopped you from talking about the group and all this and that. I mean, it's good that you're not mad at me, Pat, but honestly, I don't think I would have cared even if you were. Listen, you need to understand something. Because of you, we lost 2 very secure locations, the school and the center. Now we're at a brand new location. It's more isolated. We've spent a lot of time securing it, and I know you've pulled your weight. But the problem is, and here's the thing, Linda, she's not gorgeous, but she cares about me. We have a couple of interests together, and she's a good woman. Plain Jane, but a good woman. And, yeah, a while back we slept together. And for me, it was just amazing. Because I was sleeping with someone who cared about me, someone who loved me. And you see what I'm doing, Pat? Because of you, I'm talking about Linda as if it was the past tense instead of something happening now. And that's why I'm sorry, Pat. But you're too friendly with every new group we encountered. The last 2 times, we lost our home, we lost members. I ended up saving Linda's life because you were the one who put her life in danger. You put my life in danger. And while I can forgive you and Eric for abandoning me and taking off in Sam's truck, I'm sorry, Pat, but I can't forgive you for putting my life in danger, and especially for putting Linda's life in danger. For the longest time, I just survived for the sake of surviving. Now I've got a good reason to survive. I've got someone worth fighting for. And you are putting all of us in danger. Yeah, I cut you off from having a conversation with Leon from Adam's group. I don't care how big they are, how many resources they have, and if they are that big, they could conquer us easily. No, I'm sorry, Pat, but you went too far. Oh, you're feeling a little dizzy. Yeah, that's normal. That's normal for the poison I slipped into my water bottle. The water that you drank about 20 minutes ago. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Oh, yeah, it's the, what can I say? It's the same water I poured into my cup. But you might notice something. Even though I drank out of it twice, the cup is still full. That's because I only pretended to drink. I put it up to my mouth and I let the water touch my lips. And my lips are tingling and they're getting a little numb, but that's going to pass. You, on the other hand, took a good chug of the water I poisoned. I'm sorry, Pat, but I wanted to meet with you because, well, again, I forgive you and I forgive Eric, but I can't forgive you for putting all of our lives in danger now. Sorry, Pat. Oh, the dizziness is getting worse. Yeah, you're about to black out, and you're not going to wake up. I'm genuinely sorry, Pat. Genuinely sorry you couldn't keep your mouth shut. If it makes you feel better, I really am sorry. But Linda is far more important to me than you are. Goodbye, Pat.